gentlemen, start your engine!
Fucking shit me? Dude, how long you been racing? You've been racing 300 fucking years, you stupid fuck.
Madsen is howling on James McFadden.
It's basically like rebuilding a car basically after the race, where you take all the injectors out, clean all the pistons, everything like that, take the exhaust pipes off, make sure nothing's scorched, everything like that.
All right, welcome back to another episode of the Work Area Podcast. In studio, you would have just seen if you're watching on YouTube, but we've got an awesome guest in one that I've wanted to do right from the start, Jamie Oldfield. Mate, 2 Australian titles in the street stock, 4 state titles in the street stock. In a late model, we've got 3 podiums at an Australian title and 3 state title podiums, a production sedan state title. Look, we spoke about it just before. I was just trying to do your stats, and it almost gets confusing. Like, what's your favourite achievement that you've had in the sport? Like, the pinnacle thing that you've done, what do you reckon that is?
There's 2 that sit very high. One is obviously the national title at Ellen Brook, where we come from the C main and worked our way all the way to the front of the A, and we won that. That's probably one of the best. And the other one, I think, is the Bumbrey national title, which was my first title in the street stock. Where I run first and my brothers was second and third, which was an awesome feat as well.
Now I've got that down there, so I actually want to break them down because it's just crazy some of the stuff that has happened. But just quickly, just want to give out a little shout out to the new business that I've started up, Carry Hot Shots. We're in its infancy and trying to get that thing up and going off the ground. So if anyone has any work or any leads with that, hit us up. And also just send out all my partnership proposals for this upcoming year. Really trying to launch this podcast and take it to the next level. And Speedway, as a result of that, hopefully full review rounds and review shows of all the rounds at the Motorplex, all the sprint car rounds, try to get to some state titles and Australian titles around Australia as well. So, if anyone's interested in getting on board, give me a message and I'll flick out this little proposal. But, all right, enough of that boring stuff. Into it, mate. So, I found that's your favourite 2 events. You seem like a big game player. What's your favourite event that you get yourself up for every year?
I think with street stocks, it's Brian Rose Memorial. Like, I've won 11. I'm desperate to get that 12th one just to make it an even number, and then I'll be happy. But we put a lot of effort in, myself and my younger brother, for many, many years trying to build that event up, and we succeeded in the way that it used to be like 20 to 30 car fields every year, and then all of a sudden we've managed to contact so many drivers across the state to come and be a part of that event, and now it's like regular 50, 60 cars. So that's probably one of my favourite events across the whole year because we've put an effort into it and, it's so successful. And now, the East Coast guys want to come over and race that event and stuff like that, which, it does make you feel good about the event, and obviously, winning it so many times, it's a bonus.
And just with that then, that's obviously at Ellenbrook.
Yeah.
And just for myself and everyone else, like your involvement at Ellenbrook, you guys do just a mountain of work there. Just talk us through Ellenbrook.
Look, we've been a part of Ellenbrook Speedway. My dad and my granddad and my mum and my aunties and uncles and cousins, they've all raced there and they've all been a part of it. More so the last sort of 30 years, myself, my 2 brothers, we've all been on the committee and all tried to grow the Speedway and turn it into what it is today. And we've all played a part in that. And we're all proud of what was, a little country track as now probably the biggest club run track in the state, if not the country, membership wise. So we're proud of where we are with that. Yep, I'm on the committee. I also, now I'm the track curator doing that as well. So you're always busy trying to make sure that the Speedway, succeeds. But at the same time, when you're doing that, you miss out on racing there and you don't get the fun stuff as much as what we used to.
But I did see that 2-night show that they ran this year out at Ellenbrook. I seen one of the nights you jumped literally straight out of your late model, straight into the grader.
Yeah.
Like, is it hard to juggle that or are you used to it?
I've been lucky enough, like especially the last few years when we do 2-day shows, like the Brian Rose, normally 2 days, and you've been doing the same thing. You get out and get straight back in the grader and water truck and whatever else. But I've been lucky enough to have a good crew. Like this year with my late model, it's been my son, and he's just amazing. Like works his butt off and just makes things happen. So for me, you get out of the late model and don't even worry about it. I just go and jump on a water truck, jump on a grader, and know that at the end of the night everything's packed up, and I don't have to worry about it. But that makes it good. And with the street stock, I've been racing for Luke Novell and Rose, and they do the same thing. They just make sure everything's right and get everything sorted. And I just do my thing at Ellenbrook. Everywhere else, when we go racing, it's actually more enjoyable because I'm not working at the same time. I'm just going racing.
What's the goals long term with Ellenbrook then? Like, it's to me, and I spoke about it when that race finished. It's just so important for Speedway in WA to have 2 metropolitan tracks. Like, is it a big season coming up? Like, what are your plans with Ellenbrook moving forward?
We'd love to say yes, but the reality is, like, we're run by volunteers, and all our volunteers seem to be, majority of them are street stock guys. So yes, we'd like to do, what we done last year. We would love to have done that March show again on the long weekend, but the same weekend is Collie for the street stock state title. So there go all our volunteers. I'll obviously be at the street stock state title. All our volunteers will be at that title. So we can't do that show again. We try to juggle around dates and what we can and can't do, and it just made it almost impossible to do something. Like, we need to get grandstands so we can get more people in to make it feasible to run, like the Speed Week series, the sprint cars. It's so expensive to do. We need to take more people through the gate, and to make that happen, we need room for them to sit. So we're trying to slowly build things up, and there are things in the works with new lighting and stuff like that on its way. And at some point, we'll try and get grandstands enough, to get more people in there. And once we start doing that, we'll just slowly build and build and build. And look, some people worry that how long have we got out there? We've got a long time. We own the land. Like the Speedway's in a really good position with the Shire and the government and everything else. Everyone looks after us, and we all work together, so it's good.
How hard is it then with like the winter series, putting in all the effort and all that sort of stuff, and then get rained out? Like, is that a real gut punch? Like, with obviously it being volunteers and everyone's slaving away, and then the rain just comes down.
Yeah, it can be. It can be, really disappointing sometimes. But I'll be honest, this year, for me, it's been absolutely wonderful having some time off. Normally we're, racing all summer, and then, come wintertime, it'd be good to have a break, but we don't because Ellenbrook's on. So this year with the rainouts, it's actually been good for me because I've had time off, spend some more time in the shed, spend some time at home, stuff like that. So it's good. But at the same time, everyone wants to go racing. Like we've had 3 rainouts now, maybe even 4 rainouts this year, and it's just like killing everybody. Everyone's like, what do we do? What do we do? There's nothing you can do. We're a winter speedway. We've had rainouts, but at the same time, there's been years where we've had like 2 or 3 years in a row with not a single rainout. So that's what happens. Like, you got to take the good times with the bad times, and it's just how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. That's what I keep seeing when those rainouts. I kept thinking, I wonder how much effort goes into stocking the canteen and all that sort of stuff. Like, but what do you do usually then? Like, are you just a speedway man? There's not footy, anything? Like, you're saying you have a little bit of a break. You don't do nothing else, just speedway?
Love to go fishing. Don't have time for it. Yeah. Although, myself and my brother have sold our business, so the next 3 weeks we've got plenty of time. So we're planning on being able to go fishing, go up north, go fishing for a week, do all sorts of stuff that we haven't been able to do. We've had a business that we've both had to be there every day of the week for the past 22 years. And so life's going to change, and we can go and do some more stuff now. Neither of us, clearly when you look at us, we're not physically fit. We're not out playing footy and going to the gym and all that kind of stuff. We're either in the shed working on race cars, piss fit, race fit, whatever. But we're always working in the shed on race cars, going home, thinking about racing. That's about all our life's been up until now. So it will be good to get out and do more stuff, and we'll see what happens in the future.
So if you could you obviously race heaps of classes. What classes have you actually run?
Okay.
No, I mean, because it's hard to find. So
junior sedans, obviously, that's where I started.
Yep.
In Mini. Then we raced after juniors. I've done a couple couple of shows in a car that Warren owned, which was a production sedan, then a street stock, not like full time or anything like that. So in between that time, I started crewing for a guy called Toby Gibb on a speed car. Anyway, I ended up racing that speed car for like 5 years. In that period while I was racing that, I started back racing street stocks. One of Warren's cars, I didn't even own a car, so I raced one of Warren's cars, raced for Ian Gibb for his speed car. And then I've had production sedans, which one of them I raced as a modified one time. I've had to go in a Formula 500 out at Northern one time. I've raced 360 sprint cars, 410 sprint cars, and now, which is what we do most of the time, is a late model.
But did I see a super sedan as national title podium?
Yeah, I did. That was a guy called Brad Smith, who's been over here for the last 12 months, or last 2 years, I think, racing his late model over here. He's from Tasmania.
It says Centurion car?
Allied.
Orange.
That's the one, Allied car. So I didn't even know Brad from a bar of soap, and he just rung me out of the blue and he goes, "Hey, would you be interested in racing my super sedan? I'm coming over for the national title, but I don't think I can race. So what have you done?" He goes, "Well," he told me what he's done. He's an idiot. Welded a fuel tank, or tried to weld a fuel tank, 2 weeks before a national title and blew himself up, broke his arm and stuff like that. So
not ideal.
He had everything organised and was coming over, and he just needed someone to drive the car. And at the time, I'd been doing really well with my late model, and he just a phone call out of the blue to say, "Hey, do you want to race my car? You get around like Motorplex well." We qualified outside pole. I led, I think, for the first half of the race, and then ended up, car went away, and I stayed on the top too long, and we ended up with third. So very first weekend I'd raced the super sedan, we've managed a third in the national title, and now because of that, that one phone call that he made, like, we're best mates.
Yep.
Like we chat all the time and get along great, and he comes and stays with us when we go, races out of our shop and stuff like that. So it's cool.
So street stocks, productions, a modified, midget, sprint car, late model, super sedan.
Yeah.
There's nothing that you haven't driven then? Or is there anything that you want?
Legend car last year, I had to go in a legend car up at Ellenbrook. That was different.
Is there anything then like on your bucket list to try, do, or like maybe go back to like say speed car and have a proper crack? Is there anything on your bucket list, or you're doing what you want to do?
I'd love to have a go in a midget again, but that's a case of fitness. Like, the reality is I need to lose like 20, 30 kilos to get back in a midget and be competitive again. Like, they were one of the most fun cars I've ever raced.
Yep.
At the time, I stopped racing them because we were busy with work, and I knew the reality is if you have a crash in that, you're hurt, can't take time off work. So I stopped doing that. But I feel a lot safer in street stocks and late models. I'm not going to get hurt and whatever else. But there's nothing to say that if I can drop some weight, obviously not working, being able to spend time, go and get fitter and eat better and drink better and whatever else. Like, we could, I'd certainly have a go if I, got the opportunity again, for sure.
Because they are wild. Like, when you see those speed cars like Buddha, when Buddha runs the fence and that thing, he's so close to it and he's moving.
Yeah, like, I took some real big licks in them things because you're just, on the wall so hard all the time, and you're having a go, and you think you've got to drive them harder to beat the guy, next to you, because he's going to do the same thing. Yeah. So you just got to try and outdrive him. And I loved them. Like, they're so much fun, especially Bumbrey on a hooked up night used to be awesome. Manjimup one night, unbelievable down there, 2 complete different lanes, and front wheels are bouncing in the air. I was high as a catch fence at Albany one night, and just junked it and hurt myself and whatever else. And it's like, well, now's time, just pull the pin on that.
Yeah, it's always fun till you know you got it wrong, and then you're like, what was I doing?
And then it just hurts too much.
But so what would you say your favourite division, like, or the most funnest division is?
Probably the most fun is the street stocks.
Yeah.
Like, you get out, you can run side by side, rub doors with people, get out, and it's very rarely that you have an argument with a guy. Like, you actually get out and that dude's just been beaten and he's stoked, or he's beat me and I'm stoked that we've had such a good race and it's been fun and whatever else. Like, even last year, or the season just gone, I ran second at the state title. It was one of the most fun races I've had. I was at the Motorplex, and I beat the wall down for 30 laps. So, like, it was cool fun. Like, at the end, me and Hayden Norman come together and rub panels and whatever else, but we got out laughing and had a good time about it. So, and obviously all them guys, they just want to enjoy their racing, and you can afterwards, they're all hanging about, they're all having a beer and a laugh, and it's always fun every time you go street stock racing.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the best community. Like when they bring it down, like Damo Lyle brings that big bus down, and they camp there the whole time, and they fund themselves. It seems like all the sponsors are drivers. Like the division is almost like its own little ecosystem. It looks after itself, supports itself, and like the Ellenbrook crew put the track together. That they sort the club out and all that, but then they race as well.
Yeah,
and
there's guys like, and it's across the whole state. We've got a massive state, and there's Stevie O'Dowd from ODH Mechanical in Karratha. He puts in, not only does he put in time running, Karratha Speedway, he digs into his pocket and sponsors street stocks across the whole state. And just because he's a street stock driver with successful business, he wants to be a part of it, And Craig Clayton's another one. East Pilbara Tyre Service always chips in and wants to be a part of street stocks and make street stocks better across the state, which, you don't see many other divisions where the drivers are the ones dipping into their pockets going, hey, let's make this event good, which is, it's its own system. It works.
Was that ODH? He run those mud terrain tyres at the state title, was that? Or one of his cars?
No, he sponsors that car,
Yep.
yes. That's Jack McCauley.
And is that going to catch on? Was that a once-off? Like, what's your thoughts with that?
Nah, it's not going to work.
Okay.
It'll work at the Motorplex when the track's wet and stuff like that, but it's the only place it'll work like that.
Okay.
Like any other track, it ain't going to work on street stock. So most of the time we're on normal radials and stuff like that. And it showed, like, when the track started slicking off, them tyres were no good for Jack. But at the same time, when he put his radials back on for the feature, just went backwards. I think he was the first one to lap down.
Yeah. Yeah, that's when I seen that. Like he was going. Is the Motorplex as much fun as it looks to race a street stock? Like just the optics of it, I would have thought that it wouldn't have been the best street stock track, but they have put on some of the best races this year at the Motorplex, mate. It's phenomenal.
I've said it for a couple of years. I struggle there big time. Like, I'm not a fan of the dirt that they have is mint with race rubber.
Yeah,
you go and put radials on it, it's absolute terrible. It's so slimy, slippery.
Yeah.
Even when the track goes gut slick, it's not like a slick track of Ellenbrook or Bumbrey or somewhere like that where it's sort of, you slow the cars down. At the Motorplex, you just got to barrel in there and it's just grease. Like, it looks as slick as all hell and it's just so slimy with radials. When it gets slick for a late model, we love it. It's great. But with a street stock, then that's when the cars start spinning out and stuff like that. But you watch guys like Damon Lyle and they just belt the fence down for 20 laps and it's cool to watch. Like, it is good.
That race with Damo, that's still the best race I watched last year. That was so sick.
Yeah.
But what would an Australian street stock title be like at the Motorplex? It would just be ridiculous, eh?
We pretty much seen it last state title there. That's the same sort of thing. I think we had 70 cars or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, we might get a few more from the east that are good and whatever else, but the reality is the fastest cars in the country
probably were there. Yeah,
we've already got them. Like, myself, Hayden Norman and Jake Ho.
Yep.
3 of the fastest cars, and we can go anywhere in the country and be competitive. Like, that's the bonus we have in WA. We're always racing against the fastest cars. Yeah, there's going to be a couple over east, that dumbass Magna thing that wins the national title the last couple of years or whatever. And then, Barry, obviously, he hasn't been doing as much street stock racing, but, he'd still come out and, win a race with a street stock. And there's a few over there, without doubt. But the most competition, I feel myself, is in WA.
Mate, what about Jake? Mountain of an effort. Hey, I lived in Derby for a bit with him. He's a good man.
Yeah.
That's such a long drive to do as often as he actually does.
Yeah, constant. Like, he's just dedicated and it's cool. Like, he travels everywhere and, he leaves his car down here and just works back and forward. I don't know how he does it. Like, it drives me nuts having to travel that far.
I've seen he just registered for Albany for that 60 lapper.
Yeah, it doesn't even surprise me, but good on him. Like, and it shows. Like, he's racing the last few years. He's been racing the best guys in the state, and now he is one of the best guys in the state because the competition level's up there, and he's lifted his game and he's doing an awesome job. Awesome job.
What's the hardest division then? What's the hardest car like to actually wheel?
I'd say a late model.
Yep.
Yeah. They're you got to drive them. It's hard because when the track's fast, you got to be super aggressive, but it's the other extreme when the track goes away. You got to be super gentle and finesse the car and change your whole driving style. So most other divisions, yes, you got to alter a little bit, but nowhere near as much as what you do with a late model. And then on top of that is the technical side of it. It's so technical with suspension changes and, set up shocks, springs and all sorts of stuff. Like it's never ending. Every single race, your car can be absolutely perfect one race and go out the next race and you are dog shit because you just haven't made that change enough. Whereas most other cars I've ever raced, if you don't make a change, you'll still be competitive, but you might not be 100% there. Your car doesn't change that much for the track. So late models driving wise, 100% the hardest, and same with the technical side of it.
Could you leave a late model in between races, or do you have to continually be proactive in terms of setting it up?
So, at the Motorplex, if some nights it's a very rare occasion, but some nights the track won't change much between the two heats, and you can leave it. And there's other nights where the track changes that fast that you don't touch it and you're just going backwards. Or like from, the first two heats, they might be brilliant, your car might be awesome, and then the sprint cars go out there for the feature and blow it off, and then you don't touch your car, you just got the reverse beeper on all the way to the back and you just go, where'd they go wrong? Like it's just the track's changed and you didn't change your car.
And do you feel like you said your son sorts the car out for you now? Do you feel like it's getting to the level with a late model that you almost need a crew chief similar to what the sprint car fellas have? Or can you drive and be across your car?
No, you can drive and be across your car 100%. Like when I say Bradley helps me out immensely, most of the time that's just him doing the work. Like I'll come in and go, this is what the car needs. We need to do this, and I can just leave him to it, and he just gets it done what I've asked for. Warren, my brother's the same. He does everything himself. He's got good guys or one or two good guys that will just he knows that he can go, hey Kenny, just get this done, and Kenny will just get it done, and that's where they're at. Like it's so hard. Like a lot of people, they can watch the race car get around and they think you know what you need, but the reality is they're not feeling it. And if you don't feel it in the seat, you don't know what to change.
And would it be the case with a late model then that everyone would drive them different? Because I've heard about so many people saying you drive it off like the front right tyre or like does everyone drive different? So like could you just jump in your brother's car and vice versa, or is it you need what you need?
Like so with his old car, his Rocket, he had it in such a close window, that car, that there was one night I was racing a sprint car and he said, like, he was racing, I think he started to race for Michael Holmes for a couple of shows. He jumped in Holmes' car and he goes, do you want to take my car? And that way, if something goes wrong with Holmes' car, I've got a backup. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. And I went out there, I said, what do I need to change? He goes, nothing, just leave it. He goes, just for the feature, just do this, that's it. I'm like, okay, no worries. I raced it exactly how he races it and won the feature. And the car was mint. Yet we've had two cars identical. We had two 13 Rockets that we bought from America, imported and brought them out. The cars were absolutely the same, and I'd jump in his completely different to the way I have mine. Like driving styles are different. Like I'd charge a corner way harder. We've been at practice at times. I go, can you sail your car in wide open? He goes, nah, you can't. It won't turn. Look, are you sure? And he's like, you can't. It just will not turn. And I get in it and barrel the corner absolutely flat out. I go, I don't know what your problem is. It turns. It turns wide open, but that's just his style. Yeah, is he checks the car and then drives through the turn, whereas I'll charge the corner and get to the center quicker, but he always beat me off. So yes, we can get the same lap times, but it's two different ways of doing it. And when you watch the guys in America, they're the same. There's certain guys that drive, to the center of a corner, and then there's guys that pussyfoot to the center of a corner, but they drive out faster. Yeah, and obviously you got to set your car to how you like it.
With that, it's a bit of a weird question, I guess, but what's your strength as a driver then? Like, are you just ultra aggressive, or you hang it out? Are you technical, like read the track? Like, what do you reckon your skills are as a driver? Because you've obviously won so much. What is it?
It's hard. Like in a late model, I'm aggressive. 90% of the time, I'm more aggressive than what I need to be, especially when I come in and all the wings busted off and whatever else. And Warren's like, what are you doing? Like he's run the bottom of the whole race and just towered me out. And far out. Like
Yeah.
he beat me on the bottom with not a scratch on his car, and I'm bashing the fence down. But with the street stock, the last sort of, I'm going to say maybe the last 8 years or so, I've been probably better because I'm back off on the throttle. I'm not on the throttle anywhere near as hard. I don't charge the corners as hard, and I look after tyres and stuff like that. And, you know, especially when we're heading up north to Karratha and you see an event up there where we've got Damon Lyle and Hayden and all them, and go out and run a feature race, 30 laps, and they're just blowing caps off their tyres, and mine come in like new. And you go, I only beat you because I looked after my shit better.
Yeah.
Like, whereas late models, I don't know, I get excited around Motorplex and it's cool, and you just get after it and get more aggressive. But most of the time I've always, like my whole career, I've been more aggressive than most, I suppose.
Yeah, it's because it looks sometimes like it's really hard to pass in a late model. Is that the case? Like Motorplex would be all right, but if you go to the smaller tracks, how hard is it to move a late model around?
It can be, but like at the same time, you know, we've been to Esperance and the joint's tiny, and you just belt the throttle and go for it, and you go, wow, car sticks.
Yeah,
and it's surprising. You know, I was successful, I think it was 2 or 3 years in a row. I went to Collie and won our round at Collie because I was the only one that would actually have a go at the cushion on the top, and everyone else was sort of running the curb, and I had my own line out there in the end and was able to get past lap cars and stuff like that a lot easier. But it's a lot better now than what it used to be because you've got Kyle Blight and Joe and, you know, myself, where we'll get up there and move the dirt on the top and make a line ourselves after a while. So that happens more often than not now, where you clean the track a lot more across rather than just one lane all the time. They might look hard to pass, but it's generally because we're all going so fast. That's more than what it is.
Who you reckon, when you're saying that, I was thinking about the street stock, when you say the numbers, like you would say, like it'd be, say Joe and Kai and yourself, and then your brothers and that, obviously. But do you think street stocks is genuinely the deepest field that you race in? Like, is the top 10 in that a lot better than the top 10 in other divisions?
Yeah. It's like you go to a national title and quite often, and it doesn't matter where it is, like a national title, they'll get big fields of good cars, and you'll see cars in the B main. You go, how the hell did you not make the A main?
Yeah.
And I've done it. Like, I don't remember where one of them was. And Mildura. I went to Mildura. It's probably 7 or 8 years ago now, and I went there and I didn't even qualify for the A main. I think I was in the C main because I had flat tires and stuff, and didn't make the B main. And I'm thinking, how the hell does this happen? Like, you win everywhere you go, and you're competitive at every national title, and then all of a sudden you're in a C main and can't even make the A main.
Yeah.
And then you look in the B main and you go, how is that guy not in the A main?
Yeah, it's stacked.
And it does happen. It happens quite often that you look through the list and you go, wow, street stocks. There's some very good underrated drivers in street stocks. You see it all the time. Like, you go, wow, he's a good kid. Like that kid can pedal a car. But whether it's funding or the dedication's not there or whatever else, you go, man, I wish someone gave that kid an opportunity in a late model sprint car or something like that, because there's so much talent out there. And I've always said, if you can get a street stock around good, like as in both ways, aggressive when the track's fast, slow it down when it's slick, if you can do all that, you'll be good in anything you race.
I remember Josh Grizzy said to me, he has some people come into his sprint cage engineering shop there and talk about this, and they want to drive this division and spend all this money and do this. He goes, buy street stock, go to Ellenbrook over the winter and race those Oldfields. He's like, if you can race them boys good, you'll be able to race anything good. Yeah,
and I've said that. Like, I'm hopeful, like Hayden Norman, obviously really good mates with him. I believe this year is going to have a couple of goes in sprint car, and I want to see that because he's the guy that he can wheel anything. Like, he can get in a car and he'll be fast, but he hasn't done it.
Yeah.
Like, he had to go in a late model, one of ours for 1 year, just like had a little engine and stuff, but he had to go, and it's like not once did he tear it up or get out of shape or anything like that. He actually gets around good. And guys like Jake, as you say, like Jake Hoth, put him in something different. Barry, for how long has he raced the street stock? Like, if he had an opportunity where, and he's like me, where we're getting on in age, but imagine 10 years ago, put him in a 410 sprint car with an unlimited budget, give him a go. The guy will win, I have no doubt. Like
turns into Stephen Lyons.
Exactly right, and that's where Lindsay come from.
Yep.
You know, from winning a national street stock title, all of a sudden gets an opportunity and wins sprint car stuff. So yeah, the street stock guys, and I've always said that to a lot of guys, like people, you know, juniors especially, like the parents go, "What should I race? You know, what should I put him in afterwards?" It's like, put him in a street stock.
Yeah,
they're hard. They're tough, but they show you, they teach you how to be aggressive. They teach you how to slow down in the slick, and when you can work all that out together, you're going to be good in any car.
What about with that, with the talent side of thing? Not like the best overall driver, but who do you reckon's like got the most raw talent out of anyone you've ever raced?
Look, it shows in the proof. There's Carb Light.
Yeah,
like, he can get in. You know, 16 won a production sedan state title in Kalgoorlie, and like awesome, just gets in. But it's in his blood too. Like he's grown up the same as what we did. Like. Going to the Speedway every week. His dad raced. His dad was good, and that's all he's ever known. And the commitment that he puts in, you can see that. Like that's all he wants is to race Speedway and be competitive. And he is competitive. He's good. He's done the laps, you know, in America and stuff like that. Done everything right to be able to win everything. And not only his driving ability, what he knows with the technical side of it as well. You know, he builds his own production sedans and stuff like that and gets them to the front no matter what. Like, yet he doesn't win everything because he breaks, but same as what I was doing in street stocks 20 years ago, where you're just trying stuff every week. You're trying something different to be faster and faster and faster, and you're going to break stuff. But guarantee when he puts it together, yeah, he's hard to beat in anything he races.
I'm glad you said him because I think Kai could be the guy that I've seen as well. Obviously, I haven't raced him, but not many people do things differently. When you told that story about running that line at Collie that no one else would run, I remember watching Kai in Albany one time running the top, and he had this cushion. He was moving it. No one else was even up there. And then even this year when they were there, it's like the Easter show.
Yeah, yeah.
But he was that much faster than everyone else. Yeah. It was unbelievable.
And I don't know what he does at Albany, but he does something different where we've been down there many times to race against him in Albany, and we'll have hot laps, and he's second lap faster than anyone. You should go, I don't know what he's doing, but man, he's fast, and it's cool to watch. And 100% just beats that cushion down all the way to the fence.
He's wild, eh?
Yeah.
What's the best race? This is one of my favourite questions. I haven't done one of these interviews for a while. What's the best race you've ever raced but didn't win? Or like one that and then I'll get one that you want to do again.
Oh, there's a few, I can tell you. Probably Parramatta was cool for a national title. I run second there, but I tried so hard and I felt like we could have got the win, but they had.
What division are we talking? You have to specify.
Sorry, this was a late model.
Late model, Parramatta, yep.
So Steve Francis ended up winning but it was the first time that they'd done like 2 wide restarts, and so the leader was on his own, the 2 cars behind, but the second place car automatically went to the bottom. So I kept getting the second, and then the top was 100% faster than the bottom. So every single restart, I'd go back to third, and I'd bust my butt to pass Michael Holmes, and I'd get the second, and then there's a restart, and then I'm back on the bottom and go back to third. And I think we got like 4 restarts where I've passed Michael and got the second, and I'm like, got the second, I'm going to chase Francis down, I'm going to beat him. And then every single time there'd be a restart. And finally, I got the second, chased Francis, and like he beats me by like a car length essentially across the line. I'm like, man, that was such a good race because the track had gone slick all the way off the edge of Parramatta because there's no wall there. And it was a young guy doing the track at the time, and he came and chatted to a couple of us that was looking at the track, and he goes, "What do you think I can do?" And there was a few of us like, build a cushion, man. Like, build one. Like, just get some dirt from the outside and put it. And this guy goes, all right. He grades the track, puts a cushion on the outside, like right on the very top. And it's a windrow, like 1.5 foot high. Goes and gets the monster truck and packs it down with the monster truck. So it was almost like having like a concrete curb around the top. So you could actually lean on this lip the whole way. And I'm like, that was so cool to race on. So I loved that race. It was like one that sticks, you know, it was actually really, really cool. And then there's other ones that I'd love to have back again. King Roy national title, I led until a lap and a half to go, and I just hit a hole the wrong way, bounced out, and that was another late model one. I ran second again to Darren Kane. I'm like, it should have been my title. And then there's a street stock national title where I come from B main in Darwin, and I think it was lap 19. I passed Anthony Bear for the lead from the back, and I'm like, I am sailing this. Like, we're going to the front, and we've gone to the front and drove away and didn't realise how much of a gap that I'd had, and just touched a lap car and busted a rack, caught fire, end of the race, like with 7 laps to go or something. Man, I wish I had that one again because I didn't.
So there could be like 3 more national titles.
At least. So I've led. I led Kingaroy for the national late model title. I've led Manjimup for the national late model title. I had an electrical problem and the engine shut down. Parramatta was obviously close with national title. With street stocks, there's Mount Gambier I led. We blew a hose. Darwin I led. There's other ones.
Yeah.
I've been leading Kingaroy. I got to the front at Kingaroy and the rack busted. Like, didn't break. It just pumped all the oil out, blew a power steering hose, and I was done. Like, got the past Berry for the lead, and it's like, we're on here, and then all of a sudden no power steering. And so there's at least 6 national titles that I've got to the front, and then something's gone wrong.
Do you reckon it's like almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy? Because I watch so many races and you come from the back so often. Like, do you truly think that you can win and obviously have the evidence to back it up in no matter where you start in a feature race? Because always you're coming on strong. Like, if you start from the back, it's not like you get there on the last lap either. It's like halfway through the race sometimes you're in the lead.
Together,
Yeah.
So, or like myself and my brothers, we've always had this same theory that you just never give up. No matter what, you just do not give up. And that's what we've always sort of raced by. So now being able, I suppose what started it was the national title at Ellen Brook, coming from the C main and still making it. It's like, I knew it. If you don't give up, you can get there. And then from then, I don't care. Just get me in the field. That's all I got to do. Just get in the field. And then the races are that long. Anything can happen, and it does happen. Like, you see some national titles where they finish with 4 or 5 cars. You only got to be there at the end, and you're a chance. You're in the top 5. Then all of a sudden there's a restart, and you can have a crack with 2 laps to go from 4th to 1st if you're really good at it. And so it's a matter of don't give up, get in the field. Once you're in the field, just have a crack. And that's one thing is I've said so many times where I'll be starting 10th or something, and I say to my crew, I'm going to just pace myself for 10 laps or whatever, and then I'll start getting into it and get going. I don't think there's ever been a race where I've done that. I've just green lights on and I'm gas and having a go from the start.
When I obviously love my sprint car stuff the most, mate. When you first got into a sprint car, did it the power scare you or take a while to get used to, or have you just done so much that it's just fine?
No, they were different. I was lucky being in a speed car. Once you drive a speed car at the top level, then you can just about get in anything else, and nothing's fast. Yes, a sprint car's faster on overall speed, but the acceleration on a midget is next level. Like, you come off the turn and they just, like, on the back wheels just going forward, and it just gets you ready as a driver, and you can get in everything else, and it seems... especially a sprint car with the wings and everything that helps you, you're ready for it, and you just get in and you use the wing and you feel it and you go, okay. And then I remember the first time I had to go, it was just like a few shows that I'd done and wasn't anything special. The next time I had to go, I actually wanted to put an effort in and have a go a bit harder, and we went to Northern, and it's like 6 or 7 laps I've gone out there and I'm going around, and I'm like, it's just not, I don't feel it's working right. And then I thought, you know what? I just got to hold it flat. Like, just hold the pedal wide open and do not fucking lift, and just send it in and see what the wings do. And all of a sudden the car laid harder on the left, sent it in the corner. I'm like, this is way easier. Why wasn't I doing this from the start? All of a sudden it's like, okay, now I've got the rhythm. So it's sort of within 10 laps, you're on the pace and you know what you need to do. But the only downside to it is trying to get habits of midgets or late models out out of your system to race a sprint car, where the biggest key with a late model, you're quite often off the throttle, whereas sprint car, you just need to be wide open and ride the brake a little bit on entry, stuff like that. So sometimes, especially at the motorplex, you carry so much speed down, especially down the back straight. You go into turn 3 and you automatically want to go, wow, I just need to pull up a little bit. It's like, instead of rolling the throttle off, you just grab the brake a little bit and send it in. Complete different to what you do with a late model. So
okay.
You just got to, once you train yourself and a couple of shows, it's actually a lot easier.
And is that anything that you want to get back into? Or are you just committed to late models at this, like at the Motorplex, or where you just never say never?
I'd never say never, because I wish the deal that I had with the sprint car, I was extremely grateful for someone to give me the opportunity to go and do it. But we didn't have the top gear. Like, what we had was limited budget, limited equipment. We didn't have an engine that can qualify well, stuff like that. And I kind of wish that I'd had that opportunity of having a go in good car with a good engine and give me 5 shows in it and see what I can do. I know once the track slowed down, I was cool. I was good. I was happy to race with anyone. And I think there was one Boxing Day when it was Speedway. Shane Stewart was out here and we clashed across the finish line, but I finished second that night. And it's because the track had cleaned up, and then it came down to the driver more than it did the car. And I enjoyed every bit of it because that's what I like to do. Whereas I find the sprint cars now, they're so technical and fast with engines and, whatever else. It's like, just mash the pedal, find the dirt, and it's hard to beat someone as a driver, essentially. Like, they've got good gear, they've got good crew, they've got everything they need. If you qualify well, you're going to be at the front. Whereas there was a couple of nights, I think it was a state title, where they didn't qualify and you just have your one heat to the front and then reverse, and I qualified up the front. I'm like, that's because it's all driver, and I just love that part of it.
Do you reckon that in terms of the divisions then, is the sprint car like the class that has the most necessity to have good gear?
Yep.
Like street stocks, I feel like you could win in sort of any car and whatever. Is that the division where like everything you put together on the car matters the most?
100%. Like, especially engine. Like, it's nuts. Like, you got to have a monster engine to qualify well. You qualify well, there's so many points on qualifying that, it sets you up for your heat race, and it makes it easier because you're starting at the front of the heat race, get more points in that, and then you start at the front of a sprint car feature, and the cars are already fast at the front around you, so you don't have to worry about them running into you, changing paths, in front of you, or all the dumb stuff that you've got to check up for and then slow yourself down and whatever else. You're already at the front, so it makes it a lot easier. But that's all, so much is engine, crew eye, making sure that your car's 100% for that 2 laps that you got to go out there for.
Is it the same feeling then rolling around for like a 4 wide in a late model in a sprint car? Like, is there one that like it gets you real G'd up, or is it all the same for you?
Nah, it's all the same.
Yeah, okay.
I love the late model side of it, probably because you can start out of 10th. If you get your car right, especially when the track goes away a bit, you get your car right and you sail past some of them cars and you go, wow, he just qualified pole, but he's missed it by this much with setup, and he struggles the whole race. Or tyres, like, because we run different compounds, like sprint cars, you go and check all the compounds. I guarantee you just about they're all the same going out there out the gate. Whereas late models, we've all got different combinations. Some of us got different right rears as opposed to left rears, and we're all changing all the time. Like, I tend to try and go for a harder right rear than what Warren does because I'm more aggressive on the right rear, but I also know that it's going to be there at the end of the race. So there's so much in a late model that you can start 10th, go to the front, and then your car goes away and you can go back again. So yeah, when you get out there and you just look at the 4 wide and you're sitting there and you're in the middle, and you go, oh, it's cool, we're still good.
Yeah, that's mate. I love doing this because I meet new people like this. Now it's like, now I'm excited to see what happens when you're in a 4 wide. Like, I almost feel like I got some idea what you'll be thinking.
Yeah.
How quickly do you know whether you got a good car or not in a late model? Like, first corner?
Before that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10 it's before that. You'll roll around. As soon as you roll around, you accelerate, you get my car spot on. But then you just got to change. You wait for the change in the track. So your car might be spot on at the start, but the track changes. And worst part about a late model with the track is track can be fast and it's good, and you're going, I'm going mint here. And then there's a restart and we roll it down for like 2 laps just rolling around, and your car just turns terrible. But it's not your car that's changed, it's the track.
Yeah.
It's just you've just packed the crumbs in and it's not wet enough to pack down and have traction. It's wet now, it's like crummy, and the track can change that fast with a late model. And I never found that with a sprint car. Like, you're always sort of chasing the dirt as a cushion, and they dig into the track a lot, but probably the force on the tyres going down and everything else that just turns that dirt all the time, whereas a late model, you're sitting on top of it a lot more.
Yep.
And, late model, you know, on that start, you just roll around, gas it up, and your car just moves forward, and you go, wow, we got a good one now.
Yeah, because you guys always go, the sprint cars do what they do to the track, and then the late models go out, and then our feature race is always in the wingless after use. Man, it's so hard sometimes to drive that track. But that's why it's so impressive with what Blake and Matt Owen are doing, how good they are. Because that track is, and you guys might see it if you're stuck out there for the podium.
I watch it all the time.
Yeah, that's how good are those boys are.
Oh, yeah. No, they're good, and they're good. They're the same. You know, they're talented kids that are getting anything, and they go good, you know. Now they win in street stocks. Like, they're good in whatever they get. They have been in juniors. Yeah, you know, it would be good for them to have a go in something. You know, if someone gave them an opportunity where they didn't have to worry about, you know, budget and looking after the car and stuff like that, just give them a go. Like, give Blake or Matt a go and watch what they can do. They're very talented kids.
Have you ever had like an opportunity sort of slip through your fingers? It's like any sort of big deals almost come together?
Not really, like, because we've owned our workshop from a young age, myself and my brother. We never got a chance to actually pursue it as such. Yep. Because we always had to come back to work. Like, went to America, and there was a guy, he'd offered me to go and do some testing in some ARCA stuff. And I was like, I should stay and do this. I can't. I've got to go back to work. So literally I can't do it. Like, next week I'm flying home to go to work, so I just can't. And it's not as though if I work for someone, I probably would have just gone, you know what, I'm done with work for a while. Yeah. I'm just going to stay here and mess around and see what I can do. But at that time in my life, I had, you know, 2 kids here and a business to run. It's like, you know what, just don't even go and attempt it, because then what if?
Yeah,
you know, that comes into it. So it's like, no, just don't do it. Just do what I was doing, had to go in late model, you know, had some fun, and then just come home. Yeah,
but so talk us through the late model stuff in the US. Did you go over there to drive or watch and something popped up? You were telling me that story about...
Yeah, I've been a few times. The first time I went, we bought a guy called Jeep Van Wormer out here to race our late model. The whole point we did it was we wanted to get contacts in America, obviously the same as what most guys do. You try and get contacts in America. They can help your program here. So we brought a guy out here that at the time was really good in America, and he raced our late model. And anyway, the following year he says, why don't you come to the States? And I said, I want to come. So I went over there, spent 6 weeks doing the full summer nationals and stuff, just crewing for him. But I said to him, I want to race like the last night. I just want to find a car or hire a car from someone or something. I just want to race once to say I've raced in America. Anyway, I teed a car up and had an idea on a car to race. And then Jeep's dad says, you're not racing in that car, man. Like, you're racing our spare car. There's only one car you're racing, it's ours. Like, no one else's. I went, okay, no worries. So I had a great time, qualified good, went good in my heat, ended up breaking it, like just transmission, so it shut down. And that was the end of it. I'm like, that's okay. I've had a go. But then come home a few years later, it's like 4 years later, Warren says, we're buying new cars. Okay, let's do it. So we bought 2 new cars, had them in America, sent them in Jeeps, had them all, they were scaled, set up, ready to race. And I just had to get there and put stickers on them. That was it. So I put stickers on this car, borrowed or hired a motorhome, borrowed a trailer from someone, got enough stuff. Let's go. We're doing, I think it was 6 nights of racing. We're doing in like 2 weekends or something. And the first couple of nights had an absolute ball, just racing hard and whatever else. And then we went to Eldora for It was when they had the Camping World Truck Series was there. So like Larson was running trucks and all that. So we just wanted to go and watch the event, but why not? We'll just take the late model. Late models are on at the same time. So Jeep was racing at the same time. So we all just travelled down there and raced. And don't know how, but I just managed to qualify off outside pole in my heat race. And I thought, wow, I'm stoked with this. Like I'm racing, you know, the best guys at Eldora at the time. And so I looked at the grid and didn't think much of it, just started off outside pole. And then now when I look back, I go, wow, the guy on pole was Bobby Pierce. Like he's currently one of the best drivers in the world, and he's off pole. Anyway, he beat me on the start. 2 laps later, drive around the outside of him, and I led all bar the last lap. We come up to a lapped car, and I hesitated that little bit, and he just drove by me on the last lap. I thought, I run second in the heat race at Eldora. That's like, you know, most people would dream to even go to Eldora, let alone race there, and then, you know, run second in a heat race. And then, like experience killed me in the feature race, and I ended up like 12th or something like that in that feature, because just not used to the actual speed and aerodynamics and stuff like that. When a car slides across the front of you, you just lose everything. So you got to not put yourself in them positions. And being the first time being there, and a car slides across the front, and I lose everything and go back like 4 spots instead of losing 1 spot. But it was cool to actually go to America and race and say that I've done it. And I'd love to go and race there again, but the reality is I'm going back, but probably not to race. I'm just going to go and do what I want to do and have some fun and, you know, meet more people and see a lot of the friends that I've got over there from, you know, the years past.
Do you think you're in your prime now?
No.
What was your prime then, do you think?
Probably maybe 10 years ago, I'd say. It was probably
14.
Yeah, I still get results now, but back then I had a lot more drive to win and a lot more drive to go racing. I don't want to spend 24 hours, you know, of a day in a shed now getting ready to go racing. Whereas back then, if I busted an engine, I'll work all night. The national title that I won at Ellenbrook, I blew an engine on the first night.
Yeah.
And in my last heat, my second heat, I busted an engine. I borrowed a car for the last heat. I left the track and went to my workshop, pulled the motor out, built a brand spanking new engine all night. Did not get like a minute of sleep. Built an engine, put it in the car, prepped the car, went to the track. Still didn't even have doors on it because I ripped them off in the heat race like the day before. So we got to the track, put the doors on it, not 1 bit of sleep, and then went and won the national title. But I just had so much drive to go racing. That's all I wanted to do. And, you know, now I just go, just put it in the trailer. Like, we bust a diff. I ain't fixing it. I ain't changing it. Like, just put it in the trailer and we'll worry about it later during the week, whatever else. Used to, the speed car, when we raced that, we'd race it Saturday night. Sunday morning, first thing, she's clean, washed, maintenance, done, ready to go again. Now, if I ain't racing the next weekend, there's a fair chance that next weekend I'm washing my race car.
Yeah, okay.
Because I'm not dedicated like I used to be. And that's where, you know, it matters. Like, yes, I can get up on the wheel when it counts and have a go and try and win a race, but the dedication to win or to be there every week is completely different to what it used to be. I'm hoping that now we're not working during the week. We can, you know, I might have more time during the week to go, you know what, this is all I'm doing. Let's get the race cars ready. Let's get prepared to go racing next week. And no matter what, we will have the time and the energy to do that during the week. So this year, maybe we can, you know, get more enthused about it. But it's definitely different to what it was 10 years ago.
Even with that, like the mentality, you knowing, like with what you've done, you know that you didn't commit all week. And I reckon that it's calmer. Hey, if you stuff around in the shed and cut corners, it gets you. If you're not fully there, because everyone else now that you're racing against is, and then well, they're probably doing it. Blah, blah, blah.
And that is the case. And I've done it, you know, where I've, no, that'll be right. And then halfway through the feature, your car shuts down. You go, I know what happened. Yeah. That's my own fault, like because I didn't fix this stupid little thing that I looked at and seen yesterday.
Mate, I want to go through a few highlights of your career. Obviously, the first one here that I want to go through, just see what your memory is of the 0405 Bumbrey national title. You and your brothers locked out the podium. Has that ever been done before? Surely not.
Not that I know of.
No.
Like there were so many people that did look into that to try and find that out. But yeah, not that anyone could find. There was nothing like that.
You wouldn't have to search for that. If it had happened, people would know.
You would think so, yeah.
People would just go, oh, yeah, but there's no way. I don't even know if two brothers would have done it.
Yeah.
Let alone three.
Not that I know of.
How did that obviously that's in the street stock.
Yeah.
Do you remember how that race or weekend
man.
planned out?
I remember every minute of it.
Yeah, okay.
Like it was nuts. Like leading up to it was nuts. Like there was so much. So I didn't even own a street stock at all. So the winter prior to that is when I started racing the street stock. I was racing the speed car, started racing street stock because Warren had 2 cars. And he's like, well, why don't you race this? And the Bumbrey's got the national title. Try and get ready. We'll go and do that. Okay, no worries. My mentality back then was all about engines. All I wanted to do was build engines, build them fast. So I used to sit in my workshop. We had our own dyno. So I'd be there until like 11, 12 at night, like constantly during the week. And I'd be engine out, engine in, camshaft out, camshaft in, just changing so much, making our engines just that much better than everyone else's. And we ended up, there was so much that happened leading up to it. I shouldn't have even been racing because I got angry with someone and punched them, and like a month prior, and they tried to give me a holiday, and I got off it on technicality, and then like I was in Warren's car, so then they picked on Warren for the weekend of the national title, and he had a shit weekend to start with, and there was just so much leading up. And then when we got there and we start racing, and I'm like, I'd barely won anything in the street stock. I win my first heat, win my second heat. I think someone beat me in the third heat, but I ran second. Win my next 2 heats the next night. I'm like, I'm off pole of a national title. Like, what the hell? I'm not even a regular street stock driver. Like, this is nuts. And then Warren, he only just scraped in to make the feature. Jason, I think, started like 7th or something like that. And it was like 3 laps to go, I think it was. I got a bump down the back straight. I'm like, oh, wow, someone's like having a go at me here. Like, far out, don't mess this up. Like, don't mess this up. I won it, and then I crossed the finish line, and Jason Will's up next to me, and he's like, give me a thumbs up. I'm like, oh, cool. Maybe he was close by. Like,
Yeah.
not thinking much of it. Pulled up, and pulled on the concrete pad on the infield, and I've pulled up, and Jason's driven into one side of the car, and then Warren's driven into the other. I'm like, what's going on here? Like, what? Surely not. And then they get out, and like Jason's got like 2 fingers up, like, I got second. Warren's like, I got third. I'm like, no way. This is nuts. Like, absolutely insane. And then the party that we had after that was just nuts. Like, they wanted to pull our motors down. They go, well, we're going to go into town and pull the motors down. So like hell we are. We're going to do it here. Like, we ain't moving camp. We're having a party. So we're going to pull them apart. I don't care if there's dirt. No cares in the world. Just pull them apart right here. So we've pulled the engines to absolute pieces, and they've checked them and everything's right. And we've just thrown it all in the boot of the cars. Like, don't worry about that. We'll sort that out later. Like, this party. It was nuts. Like, yeah, it was so good. It was one of the best weekends overall that I've ever had with racing.
And was that Jason with the bump down the straight?
It was 100% Jason. Back straight, just give me a fair bump in. Yeah, he just had a good run. Like, he ran. So I was running like quarter track sort of thing, and he'd gone in half track, and he just had that much more momentum on the exit. He couldn't have passed me, but it was enough to let me know that he was there. So he's just give me a bump. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. And when you watch back at the video, I was like, yeah, that's mint.
Yeah, that's crazy. It would have been, there's no way you would think it would have gone 1, 2, 3. So I understand the confusion from you. Like, that's,
I was thinking, I'd developed engines for Warren and Jason. The year before, they went to the state title in Geraldton, and they qualified first and second. And Warren led for a bit, then he broke, and Jason led for a bit, and something happened with him. And then I'm like, I'll take an extra car there, see how it go. I'm probably lucky to make the feature, is my thoughts. But if something goes wrong, Jason and Warren, they've got a spare car sitting there ready to go. That was the only reason I was going. And then all of a sudden we've put her off pole. I'm like, wow, this is nuts. And
do you get nervous with that, or you're just excited? Like,
back then I did.
Yeah,
without doubt. Like, just every feature race, if you're off the front, I'd get nervous. But now it's just like, whatever happens, happens.
Yeah,
like,
done it enough.
The most I've ever been nervous racing, starting a front row of national title and stuff like that, you get a little bit nervous. But when my boy started racing, that was complete next level. Like, I was so nervous. It's not funny. Like, you're sitting there and you're going, oh, is he going to run the good guy over, or is he going to run into the push car, or, you know, because you got a 10-year-old kid in charge of a car driving around. And I got so nervous then. After that, there's nothing. There's nothing to get nervous about going racing.
Mate. And then the next one, mate. This is one I know Trav Armstrong will love this, mate. The Ellenbrook national title. So you obviously going all right, but you blew the engine.
Yeah.
You've ripped that out. What do you think in coming back to the track that next day? Like, you obviously know you never give up, but fuck.
It was like the worst run ever. So the first race I went out, and the first race I overheated it. I thought I'd blown a head gasket. So we've pulled the head off it, like between heats, pulled the head off, changed the head gasket, put it back down, and gone to fill it with water. And there's water just belting out the block. We popped a core plug out of the block because it got so hot. So put it back together, put a core plug in it, filled it with water, raced the next race, and absolutely toasted it. Popped the core plug back out because he'd been way too hot. So it's popped it out, and I'm like, I'm just going to keep going and try and get as many points as I can. I think I got like second in that heat or something. So then, we're going to struggle now. I'll borrow Warren's car. He was driving for another guy called Gary, and he's like, just take that out. Like, start from the back, just get some extra points, you know? So I got enough points racing his car. I think I probably got 6 or something in that heat. We started, so then the next day, do the engine overnight and whatever else. We go racing. And that heat, my last heat of the weekend, I thought I'd blown a gearbox. So I had 2 of my good mates, Anthony King and Timmy King, crewed for me for the weekend. I think Timmy'd gone home on the second day. So it's just me and Anthony under the car. We've changed the gearbox, put it back in. And this is before, like after the last heat, before the C-main.
Yep.
I've just got enough points to scrape in. And back then you couldn't, like, there was too many cars for just the C-main. So if you didn't make the C-main, you're out. And I just got enough to start 17th in the C. If I hadn't have borrowed Warren's car, I wouldn't have even been able to start the C-main.
Yeah, okay.
Luckily I did. Anyway, between the last heat and the C-main, I've changed the gearbox. And I go to drive it, and we've got nothing. I'm like, oh, no, what's going on? Well, yeah, we blew the gearbox, but it killed the clutch, and we didn't even check the clutch.
Yep.
So now gearbox back out, clutch out, change the clutch, gearbox back in again. This is before the C. We've gone out for the C-main. I'm like, I'm puffed, puffed out. Won the C-main. I'm like, come in, drink of water. In the C-main, there was a red light at the same time, and they sent an ambulance out to the crowd to help someone in the crowd. Turns out that's my best mate, who was a track guy for the weekend for me. Like, he'd worked his butt off all week. Anyway, his name's Grady. He had a brain aneurysm or a brain bleed at the time. Passed away. Like, been sent to hospital. No one told me a thing, right? So I've won the C-main, thinking red light. Oh, the crowd's gone, whatever. Like, let's get on with it. Go out the B main, win the B main.
So just 17th to 1st in the C main.
Yeah.
So then you start.
So it started 17th in the B. I win the B main, which was a hell of a race. Man, it was fun. Like, I got to the front of the B main with Jason. I'm racing hard with Jason, and we'd like slap panels, won't go there, and fat time. Like, it was so cool. Like, just enjoyed every bit of it. You know, being able to pass the cars is the bonus. Like, that's where it's fun when you're moving around. The track was awesome, like, we're racing all over it. And it was one of our few night or twilight shows. So the track at Ellenbrook is so much better under lights. Like, it's more racy. The cushion's more of a cushion than it is, like, you know, marbles and stuff like that. So we're racing all over it, having a great time. We ended up winning the B main. And then starting off the back of the A, and I'm like, all I've done now, thankfully, we've done 2 races in a row. We've not had an issue. I'm like, finally, hopefully everything's good. I've just literally pulled tyres, front, put them on the back, put back ones on the front, and everyone's like, is that what you're going to do? I'm like, yeah, we're going racing. We've got a good car. We're just going to send it. I think like halfway through the race, I was up to like 2nd or 3rd, somewhere around there. And then I got to Berry, and I'm like, finally I've got to him. And so at the start, it was him and Brad McClure, and they were by far the two fastest at the time, running the front. Brad McClure, he had a tyre go away because back then he was running these stupid Diamondback tyres that, they were past their use by date sort of thing. So he's killed himself with a tyre. I've got to Berry, past Berry. I'm like, man, my car is good. Like, to be able to catch him, let alone drive by him, this is cool. And then I'd sailed off into the distance. And then don't know exactly how many laps. There's probably like 4 laps or something left to go. And it might even be less. Might have been 2 or 3 laps left. And it's a restart, and I'm driving around, and all I can hear is just my actual name being chanted from the crowd. It was next level. Like, I've never seen a crowd at a speedway, let alone Ellenbrook Speedway, where they're all just packed up on the fence the whole way around, just yelling and screaming and carrying on. I'm like, 100%. That's exactly what it's like, right? And I've just like, I've got to pull my visor down. So I've pulled my visor down shut so I could try and block everything out of it. And I'm like, right, just hit your marks, do everything right. And I've gone into turn 1, and Barry, I think the first lap he ran with me after the restart, and then it was like the second lap after the restart, he's just sent it in absolutely wide open backwards. And there's this photo that was on, I think it's Speedway Illustrated or Totally Speedway magazine or something like that, where his car's almost backwards in the corner. And I'm like, when I look at the photo, I go, how the hell did he get a car bent that far, that sideways, and still drag me on the exit? And I'm like, I still don't know how he's managed to do it, but he's done it. And it's like, I give him credit for having a crack like that. But we were level peg going down the back straight, and he was always going to send it in wide open under me. It's like 2 laps to go or something. No, it was the last corner. So he's sent it in absolutely flat out. And I'm like, you know what? I only got one thing I can try and do here, and that's try and switch back early. So I've got off the throttle. He sent it in that hard that he's hit the cushion, biked up, and jammed it in the fence, and I've crossed the finish line first. And I was just like, wow, I've just pulled this off. Like, I've just come from a C main, and it didn't really sink in until I've come around, and there's like every driver that didn't finish. So it was my 2 brothers, there were so many mates on that infield that they're standing there like just going nuts as I've come around to collect the checkered flag. And I'm like, it started to sink in. I'm like, wow, this is cool. This is so cool. And the crowd was fucking wild. Like, obviously my home track and all my friends and family, and I've raced there and won so many races there. The crowd, I was like crowd favourite, and it was just, oh man, it was just a next level. Like, it was cool.
Do you know, so you passed 60 cars to win it.
Yeah.
What were you doing to pass cars? Everything?
Yeah.
Was there a line?
No.
Just
everything.
go.
Just absolutely wide open.
When did the doors come off?
Oh, so I think the B main, someone got me in a door and it just popped. And that car, I'd literally just finished that car for that meeting. Like, literally just built it for the title. I'd had one practice show. I drove all the way to Geraldton because it was the only track that I could hire out like a week prior to the national title to actually get some laps. So I drove up there, chucked, I don't know, maybe 20 laps. I'm like, yeah, cool, that's enough, go home. I think there was like 6 rivets in each door because I built the car as light as I could. It was so different. I had the radiator, normally they're in the back in a street stock, whereas I had a big F250 radiator, but I put that in the left-hand side, like where the passenger seat would go, to offset my fat ass and like to try and level the car out so it's the same going both ways and stuff like that. And the car was so balanced that no matter where I put it, it just loved it. Like, had traction, and it was so cool to race and to be able to pass cars. And some of them I was just bombing people and, pulling dumb slide jobs, which you'd never sort of done at Ellenbrook before because the track wasn't like that. But once the lights come on and the moisture was there, and I'm like, yeah, this is sick.
Do you remember, like, you wouldn't have thought it during the C or the B. Do you remember the moment when you thought, like, fuck, I might be able to get to the front and win this thing? Do you remember?
Yeah. So there was a restart, and I was probably about, I think I was about 5th, and the restart was for my brother Warren.
Yep.
I didn't know at the time, but Warren, he says to me afterwards, he goes, oh, you can thank me later for that restart. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I seen you were getting there and you need to restart because there was a big gap between like the top 4 or 5 cars and then you. He goes, you need to restart. So he goes, I was done. So I just parked her up. I'm like, yeah, cheers. So 100% he helped me out there. But at that point, I'm like, getting the speed to be able to pass cars and get towards that group of cars, that was cool. But then getting to that group of cars and then passing them, that's even harder again.
Yeah.
But once there's a restart and you're in like fifth, sixth, somewhere around there, and I look up and I go, you know what? I've beat that guy before. 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 We can do this. And didn't know how many laps there was left, but I knew that there was still, we're probably halfway through. And I thought, you know what? We can do this. We can definitely do this.
You must have passed a lot of cars early because I think it was like one of the things I've seen. It was like 19 to go, and you're somewhere in like near the top 5.
Yeah, like 3 or 4, somewhere around there, halfway through the race. Yeah, and it was like, and street stocks are that competitive that they Dyson all the time, and if they're Dyson holding each other up, you could bomb like 3 cars in one go. And I did that a couple of times and there was a video, I think it was on, might have been at a Greg Avens car maybe, and he had like a GoPro in the back of it and facing out the backwards.
Yep.
And it shows me come off the turn, and I've come off and I've gone like on the outside of him and then ducked back to the inside and then gone to the outside, all in a matter of a straight. And it's like, how did my car even do that?
Yeah.
But I've managed to pull it off, and then literally sail off in the distance. And I think he ended up running, Greg might end up running 4th in that title. And he come up, he's like, how the hell did you do that? Like, because it was an awesome thing to be a part of, yet it was, when you're sitting in there doing it, it's like, this is fun, like so much fun. And that's where I like racing, when you can do that stuff, or even have good races where you can pass cars and stuff like that and have fun. That just makes Speedway, to me, that's the part that I enjoy the most.
Do people regularly build like street stocks just for a title? Like brand new cars, put it all together, or use?
Nah, like most of the time now, most guys have cars for a fair few years, and like they work on their cars like constantly, developing them, getting them better and stuff like that. Whereas back then, every time I'd go good in a title or something, someone's like, I want to buy your car. So they didn't have the resources to be able to build them and themselves and, develop them and whatever else. So every time I had a good car, someone would offer me dumb money. I'm like, okay, I'll sell it. I'll build a new one. And
because you can build it.
Yeah, and sometimes I wouldn't, that would be enough to build a car and then pretty much fund my street stock season.
Yeah.
With the extra that I've got from a new car. And that's why that title, I actually built 2 cars, one for myself, one for a guy called Sean Peters. He's like, I want a car for the national title. Would you build me one? I'm like, well, I got to build me one. Like, well, I'll pay you, but build one the same as yours. Okay, so I built 2 cars identical, and he had that one, I had mine. But it was cool.
And then what's your favourite then in a street stock? Just before I move on to this last one, do you have the type of car as your favourite? Is it like that EL Falcon type?
I love my Falcons, and I'd raced one Commodore for myself, like I built for myself, and then I'd raced for other guys. Like I was travelling around doing national titles, literally just flying in with a race bag, driving other people's Commodores. It's like, who does that in a street stock? But I was lucky enough to be able to do that. And so I have liked the Commodores for like maybe the last 10 years. I've just raced Commodores, but I'm in the middle now of building another Falcon. I want to just have one last go in a Falcon, and I thought the only way to do a Falcon is do it myself.
Like the last sort of one that I want to go through is obviously the last national title at Bumbrey. Yeah. How did that weekend pan out? You're obviously up the front, but like, was it smooth sailing for your heat races, all of that? Like, how did that weekend pan out?
Yeah, look, we had a pretty cruisy run. It wasn't, I can't remember what happened. One race we got flat tire or something like that, and we dropped points in one race, but managed to, I think we started out at 4, 6, somewhere around there, and paced myself for the first bit. But I knew that once track goes slick, myself and Luke, we'd worked so hard with this Commodore to make sure that it's really good in the slick, because 9 times out of 10 now for a state title or a national title with street stock, track slick, and most people burn their tyres up, and we just got to be there at the end. And I did that. I'd done everything I could possibly do to look after the car during the race and save it for the end. And then I think I was led for a little bit, and then Barry got me back, and it was a tough race. There's no question it was a tough race. And then at the end there, obviously everyone's seen what happened. Like, I got under him, and my opinion is I was under him 100%. I had like a slight push the whole way around the corner. And then if you watch the video like in detail, closely, it's when the back of my car finally steps out, the back of it hits him first, and then the front hits him.
Yeah.
It's not as though I turned into him to try and jam him in the wall or anything like that. 100%, if I was going to lean on him, I want to lean on him. Like, I could do that, but I was trying my best not to, but also keep my speed because I wanted to drag him down the straight to get the win. And it's the last corner of a national title. And would I do the same thing again? Absolutely I would. I'm going to send it in there. Probably next time I'm going to send him backwards and put my quarter panel fair in his door. So it doesn't look as bad as what it did, because I didn't do myself any favours in the way that I've gone in with a push, and then when it's tagged in with the back and straightened up, I've obviously still corrected it. So my wheels have gone to the right and look worse than what it was. Professional foul, like, he knows how to play the game, and he's obviously, done a zigzag at the end of the race, made it look worse than what it should have been. It is what it is. And then that probably should have been it. And then I have no doubt the way that it looked, the way the steward's seen it, they made a call. I was getting penalised 2 spots, whatever. That part of it, I didn't have an issue with. Like, from where it is, I crossed the line first, he crossed the line second, leave it to the stewards. If they put me back 2 spots, so be it. I was done with it. That's where it should have ended. We go down the back straight, and I've loosened my belts because of dumb. I know you shouldn't do it, but I've done it. End of the race, gone through 1 and 2, loosened my belts a bit, and he just jams me in the fence, like down the back straight. He's just turned right on me and jams me in the fence. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? So me being me, everyone knows, like most people that know me know I'm fairly short-tempered. Like,
but anyone would have been.
I'm a lot better now than what I used to, but I was still, lost me shit and beelined him, drove into him as hard as I possibly could. Did not even crack that throttle and flip myself over. Yep, dickhead move. Like, I get it. We both ended up in the shit, both got fines, whatever else. If I had my way at the time, it would have gone on worse from there. But there's enough people to say, stop, pull your head in, just stop.
There was about 35 people there.
Yeah, it was nuts. And there's people going, just go nuts, and whatever else.
Jamie.
But it's like, nah, just stop. And then
Did you get the 2-spot penalty for the pass or after?
the pass. So
I've watched that today 10 times. I can't believe I see worse than that every week.
yeah,
There's nothing in that. The back does nudge it, jags the front a bit. That's
and
it.
that's what's dumb about it. If that was halfway through the race, wouldn't be an issue.
Nah.
Not an issue. It wouldn't be looked at. But the fact that everyone's looking at it and they're going, what happened here? Who made contact? I made contact. Was it intentional? Absolutely not. Was I going to race within an inch of Barry all the way to the finish line? Absolutely I was. Yeah. If it was a matter of rubbing panels, so be it. We're rubbing panels to the finish line. I didn't try and stick him in the fence. I didn't try and take him out. Nah. The back of my car touched his first.
Just drags
and
the
it
front
straight. Yeah, just pulled the front straight into him. So be it.
It probably did happen during the race with other cars everywhere.
100%.
Without
that question. Without question. And it's happened before. And I've had worse happen to me at a Brian Rose where someone slapped me harder and they've gone on from the win with the same steward. They've got away with it and it was all cool. But it wasn't the last lap. You just go, it is what it is. But so that's what I mean. At that time, I was like, okay, it is what it is. The stewards decide. They put me back. That's how it is. So I didn't have a problem with that. But it was what happened afterwards. That's where I just lost my shit.
Yeah, fair enough too. Your interview was amazing considering what's just happened. You actually spoke really well, really calm, really measured. 5-10 minutes afterwards, I was expecting not for you to explode, but at least have an issue. But you spoke really well. Did you have to mentally calm yourself down for that, or is it that's just how it was?
No, I do. I have to. I was also the president of Speedway Sedans WA at the time. Like, I'm a figure that needs, people look up to. I'm a figure that needs to do the right thing as well. We've got a massive crowd there. Imagine if, and it was bad enough as it is, there was people, I didn't see it myself, but I was told there was people trying to get into the steward's box, like to have a go at them. And that's people from the crowd.
Yeah.
Like the car that I'm racing is from Bumbrey. Like that's where he's located. So all his friends, family, people that he knows in Bumbrey, they're all there and upset and pissed off and whatever else. But if I had encouraged it, imagine, what could have happened. Like people get even more angry. So you just got to, do the right thing. There's kids watching, there's kids from juniors just watched us be absolute dickheads down the back straight and going into turn 3. That ain't cool for the sport. Like it ain't cool.
Yeah.
And yes, I've done dumb stuff in racing and I haven't been, a perfect role model a lot of my career, but I still from time to time go, you know what, I want what's best for the sport and I try to look out for the sport more than look out for myself.
I find it weird sometimes the stuff they penalise you for is what they sell the sport on. Yeah. Like even say like the sprint cars, that highlights package, well they'll penalise people for the highlights package. Like when they slide someone, take someone out like that. Like they'll sell the sport on that, but you get penalised for it.
Yeah.
Weird, eh?
Put on a hell of a show.
Yeah.
But you're going to get in trouble for putting on a hell of a show.
Yeah. So. And then the next title will sell it off what we've just penalised you for.
Yeah. They gave me 6 months one time for fighting on the infield at the Motorplex. Put on a hell of a show. Crowd loved it.
Is that the Watson one?
Yeah. TV loved it. Everyone loved it.
Did you have to get out your car or you got out just for that?
No. So he told me that wait till we get back to the pits and he's going to belt my head in. He told me all this stuff while I was in the car. And then I just sat there and I'm like, yeah, cool, no worries. That's cool. And then the officials told me that my Nerf bar had come out, so I can't keep racing. So once they said that, no worries. Game on. Why wait till we get back to the pits? Let's do it now. So,
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that Aussie title thing. Yeah, I was interested to ask you because I felt like that pass was fine. Like
a lot of people have told me that.
Yeah, but do you dwell on it or it is what it is?
No,
you just move
I
on.
don't.
Like
I
you've
don't.
got one in the bank. Like does it help that you have one in the bank? Imagine if you hadn't, that'd be very, very bitter pill to swallow.
Yeah, it would. That'd hurt. But I've won 2 of them. It is what it is. Like as I say, I've led Murray Bridge. I led Mount Gambier, Darwin. Like I've led my fair share. I should have already had, well and truly more than 2, and it hasn't happened. So it's just one more. I was more upset that he got it than me losing it.
He goes pretty wild on the celebrations too, doesn't it?
100%.
Pisses me off just watching it.
He looked at me and he's like cheering at me and shit.
Yeah, when he's standing on the roof.
I just took it in. Yeah, cool. Good on you. Whatever. But I would have rather Ben Norman win.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. Like it's how it is. But anyway. Yeah, there's nothing to nothing. Would I do things different? No. I still do it exactly the same.
No, you couldn't do that. But in saying that, I've never thought about the belts thing. But I will never, from now, I will never ever loosen my belts until I'm out the gate. Like, because I do it all the time. Like, even if you got caught up in someone else's stuff, like, I never thought about that. Was that scary?
No, because it's in red.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As soon as he hit me, I'm like, wow. Like, there's no need for that. And then
but you would have known when you're rolling that your belts were loose.
I was loose. Yeah, 100% I was loose.
Oh, that's scary. Yeah, no, I'll never do that now. I've never thought of it like once a race is done.
I've just done 40 laps in a street stock. They're not the easiest things to wheel around. I'm puffing.
Yeah.
I'm unfit. And
it is quite dangerous now that you think. I never thought about that little bit. Yeah.
And that's all it was, just loosen the belts. And
well, what's the plan for this year then? Like, what's your goals this year? You've obviously done everything. Like, when you get ready for a year, what do you think? I want to do this or I want to do that. What do you?
I was. If you had asked me 3 months ago, I wasn't planning on doing much. I was just going to pick and choose some shows and race locally and do some stuff. But with the sale of our business and stuff between myself and Wazza, like we've never had opportunity to travel over east and go racing without sending our gear and flying in, flying out. Whereas this year we've both got good trailers, equipped with everything we need to go race on a late model.
Yeah, your trailer is sick, eh?
We can put our 2 cars in, and we can travel from here to over east, race, and come home if we want, with not having to worry about going to work on Monday or not having to worry about anything else other than going racing. So I'm going to do. There is a couple of shows here that I will miss, like, because I've got some other things that I want to do, because I am slowing down a bit. Not as much that I don't want to go racing. Just I'm starting to try and enjoy other things outside of racing. So if things clash, so be it. Now I might choose that, whereas before I just wouldn't do other things and I'd just make sure I go racing. So I think it's like one of the first shows, second show or something like that. I missed that here. So then I thought, well, once I do that, I'm out of the points. So I might as well travel around and go racing as much as I can. So we're going to do most of the shows here, bar like 1, maybe 2. And then we'll do the National Street Stock titles in Murray Bridge. The week after that's the Victorian Late Model title in Tolma at that cool joint. So I'm like, well, we're going to try and work out how to get 2 cars over. I'll go and do Murray Bridge, and then week after I'll go and do Tolma with the late model. And then I think we come back here for March, so that's about February. And then we come back here for March. We've got a big March again for late models, which is what they're trying to build on for late models and make it really good. So that'll be cool. And then after March, the national title's in Toowoomba. So I think there's a couple of other shows on the East Coast, so I might just head over and just go for however long. Like, if I'm over there for a month, I'm over there for a month. I've got a sister over there that we can go and see and spend some time over there. And even if I want to fly back, I'll leave my gear over and just fly back and head back over and go racing again. So I'm going to try and get in as much as I can done this year. And then what the future brings after that, who knows? Yeah. Who knows?
Have they run the late models at Tolma yet?
No, not that I know of. Super sedans have been there.
Okay.
But not late models. So, yeah, it'd be cool. I haven't raced Sydney either, so I really want to go and do that Tolma, and I'd like to try and get a show in at Sydney just to say that I've raced there and been part of it before, hang up the belts. Yeah. Just be done with it. I just want to go and do some different stuff and not have to worry about other things. Just go racing and not care. And it's time to do it. Like me and Woz want to do that, and we both want to. We've both been to America. We've never been able to go together. So
yeah, okay, always separate.
Yeah, one of us had to stay back and run the shop. So I've gone and then he's gone and whatever else. So I plan to go there for an extended period next year. However long that is debatable. Who knows yet? But I want to go and do that. I'd planned to do that this year, but the sale, we got screwed around with the business, so that took longer than we expected. And then now that's all done. Next year I'll go to America and Wazza can come over and we might go racing. He might race. I might not. Who knows? We'll just see what happens.
What's your favourite track that you've driven in? And like, if you could only have one race ever again, what track would it be? In what car?
Eldora in a late model.
Yeah, it's that good.
Oh no, insane, absolutely insane. So when I qualified there, I done the same lap time around there as what I did the Motorplex. It was a 15.4. I think the lap record around there is like a 14.7. The lap record in a late model around Motorplex is 14.9.
Oh, wow.
It's nuts. It's 300 metres longer. But you're in a late model, you get going and it's lazy on the start because you're such tall gear. But then halfway down the straight, you feel your whole car just sink into the ground, like with the aerodynamics. It just pushes you down. And then you've gained steering, you've gained traction, so you can go even faster again. And you just go, wow, this joint is insane. It's so wide, it's just awesome, absolutely awesome. Compared to any other speedway in the world that I've been to or been a part of, man, I'd love to have it. I'd love to have another go there. Whether I do or not, it's a different story, but I've done it. So I'm happy to say that I've done it.
Yeah.
And I think when I come back, I said to Warren, if I could just not race here all year and just go there like 4 or 5 times a year and race just that one track, I'd do that.
Yeah, far that good.
We just had too many commitments here to be able to do that. But
not anymore.
Not anymore. Who knows?
Pin the ears back, mate.
Who knows what happens?
All right. Well, that's an hour and a half. mate, I'd love to do another one. I feel like I never covered half the stuff I needed to anyway. Like, yeah, mate, it's phenomenal. Yeah, it's an awesome podcast, mate. I hope everyone enjoys it. Like, mate, who does help you out? Like, obviously those nights that you have multiple cars. Like, I know Evan Wakefield, he's jumped in the wingless. I know he throws spanners around. I'm not sure if it's yours or the other boys' cars.
He's always helped me or Bradley, especially when myself and Bradley go racing together. That tend to get a bit hard. We've lucky along the years we've had good friends that have chipped in and been a part of it. Yeah. At the moment with my late model, there's obviously myself. I've got two other good friends, Mick Comley and Ash. They've been part of my racing for quite a while now, and I've got Bradley who does just about everything. He comes, he's the one that's in the shed every Wednesday working on the car and we're getting stuff done. So he does a lot of the work now. But we've got so many guys that have revolving essentially. Like we've got a couple of guys that do FIFO, so they can't, old mate, he lives in Mandurah, does FIFO, comes home, leaves Mandurah, comes up on a Wednesday night, works, goes back to Mandurah. And we're like at the other side of Perth, not like...
You're like the North Mandurah.
We're nearly Ellenbrook Speedway. So he's driving all that way just to help us, change tyres and wash stuff and just do bits and pieces. And then half the time he can't come to the racetrack because he's working, but he'll still be there on a Wednesday night working on the race cars. And, we've got guys like that. We've been lucky enough along the way to have some serious help from friends and they are mates. They're not just crew guys that blow in and out. They're our mates. And we've got a really, really good mate circle that comes and helps, which is really cool. But as for the sponsorship side of it, we've been lucky enough to have like the Pool Shop Group and Scarterfield Smash Repairs, guys like that come along. Chantel with Warren's wife, with Chantel with Oldfield Settlements, she does, she helps us out with stuff. Michael Holmes Racing, there's Comex Civils, my best mate, who's getting married this week of all times after 25 years. So we, he helps me out with fuel and stuff like that for the race car and bits and pieces. Obviously, Frank, he helps so many people with racing. It's not funny, but he's been a good part of Oldfield Racing, not just myself and Warren, like Jason, Bradley, Brooke and Bo, like he helps all of us. So, yeah, it's cool. We've had a lot of good help over the years, and I know that I'm going to forget some. Without question. But
over the journey, mate, it must have been
It's been 30 years of solid racing where people have chipped in and helped out. So it's been cool. We don't have big sponsors. We don't have a lot of big sponsors that put money in to pay for, fun racing and stuff like that. But every little bit helps. And, someone will buy you a tyre here or there. And, and that does help, especially these days with the price of tyres to go racing. You'd know yourself, like you go and buy.
Mate, I'll scab the bin.
You go and buy a tyre and it's 400 plus just for one tyre. And
can you burn up a whole set in a night?
Man, tyres, I can burn tyres anytime.
Yeah, okay.
Like there's nights where I've bolted 2 brand new tyres on thinking, they'll get me through tonight, tomorrow night, whatever. And I've just absolutely blistered every block in them in one race. And I go, wow, that was a waste of $800, wasn't it? But there's been times where we haven't had a budget to go racing hard with tyres, and I'll go and bolt 2 brand new ones on for my heats. I go, all right, I'm going to bolt 2 new ones on for the feature because we're doing well and we're starting at the front. I'll bolt them, like literally pull them off my car, put them in the trailer. Warren comes up, grabs them, puts them on his car for the feature race, and they're gone again. But that's just how it is. But it is cool when we've got guys that do help out and chip in. So yeah, we appreciate all them guys.
Nah, sweet, mate. Best way to end it, I reckon. Thanks for coming in.
No, thanks for
appreciate everyone, mate. I can't wait to try and find some of these film clips and throw stuff together, mate. Appreciate you coming in. Thanks, mate.
Thank you.